What's going on, guys? T-Mart here, and today I've got something very, very cool to talk to you guys about. So, just recently, Game Informer put out a new article talking about the future technology that's going to be available in Advanced Warfare. So, up until this point, we've seen and heard about exoskeleton suits and hover bikes and, plasma rifles or, power rifles, things like that. And we know they're in the game, we just don't know much about them. Well, this article goes into detail. These guys saw some of the single-player campaign of Advanced Warfare, and they're talking exactly about, what they saw, what these weapons and what these kind of features do. And some of these get pretty crazy. Some of it may make its way into multiplayer, some may not, but regardless, it's pretty cool to see what we're going to be working with. So, first up, we've got the hover bike. So, they said the hover bike is one of Advanced Warfare's most futuristic vehicles. Sledgehammer referenced real-life vehicles like motorcycles and snowmobiles for a grounded design starting point. The windshield is composed of smart glass, allowing the UI to meld with others in the game. The angular armor, designed to deflect enemy fire, shifts with the bike as it moves. Players ride the advanced one-man bikes through the flooded streets of Detroit, fleeing enemy forces at high speeds. So we saw that in the trailer. They're going like 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour through, these little, alleyways and stuff like that. And this, tells us that it's going to be in Detroit. We didn't know that yet, but Detroit is going to be a setting in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And if you guys aren't from the US, Detroit is like one of our worst cities. At least in parts, it's one of the most crime-ridden cities in the US. And, that's just kind of interesting. I can't wait to see, what goes on in there. But, yeah, that sounds pretty badass. Hover bikes have, shifting plates on them that help deflect bullets and all kinds of craziness. So, those are going to be pretty cool. Now, next up, this next thing is one of my favorites from the article. The 3D printed rifle. Yes, that's right. So listen to this, guys. This is absolutely nuts. Sledgehammer is tapping into the relevant modern 3D printer technology for this weapon's inspiration, looking far into the future to see what might be possible on the battlefield. Players load a canister of liquid matter and rack it by pulling back on the bolt. Once securely housed, the internal computer begins printing ammunition on the spot. Players can see the number of bullets created as a digital ammo counter increases. Sledgehammer is still tinkering with the fire rate and the power of the 3D printer rifle, but it should dramatically reduce the reload time. So basically, rather than, kind of sticking a magazine that has ammo in it in your weapon like we've always been used to, you have this like tube or, canister of liquid matter that you put in your weapon, and your weapon has a 3D printer and a computer in it, and it starts printing ammunition. So you don't have to reload that canister as often. It's going to keep printing until it runs out of matter, and then you've got to replace it. But that is just absolutely nuts. Like, that is really, really, really cool. It sounds more of like something we're going to see in single player. I don't know if that'll make its way over into multiplayer, but if it does, that'd be pretty cool. What if you have a slightly weaker weapon that reloads extremely, extremely quickly? I don't know. I think that sounds pretty cool. Maybe it won't have the kind of penetration power. I would assume, printed bullets might not be able to go through, heavy objects as much, or, I don't know. There's a lot of different balanced things they could do with that, but that's just, that's pretty cool. Now, next up, we've got the plasma-powered rifle. What I'm thinking about these things, these are kind of like the power weapons that we've been talking about. I think this is going to be a single-player only thing. If you guys remember, like back in Black Ops 2, we had that sniper rifle that could charge up and shoot through walls and kill enemies really easily. I don't think these things are going to make it into multiplayer, but it's possible. We'll have to wait and see. But about this thing, they said, referencing DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, experiments and public military prototypes, this plasma rifle is among the most futuristic weapons we saw during our trip to Sledgehammer Games. While we didn't see this portable rifle in action, other large energy weapons are on display in Advanced Warfare's campaign. In the sequence leading up to the attack on the Golden Gate Bridge, players drive a high-tech SUV equipped with a turret that fires blue blasts, devastating other enemy vehicles. The smaller plasma rifle should be similarly effective against foot soldiers. So again, I think that's more of something that's going to be in the campaign, but who knows? We'll probably find out pretty soon. Now, the next thing they talk about is the exosuit, and we've seen these things all over the trailer and things like that. Like, these things are really, really important. So they said, the exo is the mechanical backbone of Advanced Warfare's journey into the year 2054. In Sledgehammer's universe, the exo began as a clunky mechanical suit that became more elegant as technology and design evolved. Modern-day exosuit prototypes are bulky and require heavy batteries to operate, but these strength and agility augmenting suits become more sleek and versatile in Advanced Warfare's future. The EXO allows players to jump higher, run faster, lift heavy objects, and more. Players can even punch through doors to initiate the dramatic slow-motion breach sequences from previous Call of Duty games. Certain characters can also enter mechanical suits with moving plates of heavy armor that quickly protect them. So, yeah, you know, there's all kinds of exosuits. They're the smaller ones. It's on pretty much like everybody's backs. The last part there, you know, the bigger mechanical suits with the moving plates of heavy armor, those are kind of like bigger ones, you know, almost like, you know, Titans or mechs or something like that. And yeah, they're pretty cool. We haven't heard about that breaching thing. So now instead of placing a breaching charge on the door and then coming through and, you know, shooting all the enemies in the head and things like that, you're gonna literally just punch your way through the door. This thing is gonna be so much fun, man. There's so much new stuff in this. And then finally, the last thing that they talked about were the tanks and the aircraft in Advanced Warfare. They said, cutting-edge military vehicle design incorporates an array of sharper angles. Consider modern military vehicles with angles on the underside, which makes them better able to weather blasts from bombs or mines. Like the hoverbike, these angles help vehicles withstand explosions and projectiles more effectively than a boxy design. Sledgehammer predicts the function of military vehicles like MRAPs, mine-resistant ambush-protected, tanks, and helicopters won't change in the future, but the form will continue to change. For example, the aircraft carrier in Advanced Warfare is still recognizable, but Sledgehammer envisions a future where all flying vehicles have vertical takeoff, which eliminates the need for a runway. With that in mind, Advanced Warfare's aircraft carrier is littered with platforms that rise up from inside the ship, allowing planes and helicopters to be reloaded. So, yeah, there's going to be all kinds of new futuristic vehicles, you know, from trucks to aircraft carriers to helicopters. You know, it's all new, it's all really cool. We saw some of the helicopters go invisible in the trailer, and, you know, obviously all of that is going to be kind of, you know, more technologically advanced as well. So, yeah, that is what we got out of that article, man. Like the 3D printed rifle that like prints ammunition, you don't have to reload as much. That thing just sounds absolutely amazing. We've got plasma rifles, we've got hover bikes, we've got exosuits. This is just, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait until we can hear more about it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I've got a bunch of great videos coming soon, so make sure you guys keep checking back. As more information comes out about Advanced Warfare, I'll be sure to let you guys know. And again, thanks so much for watching. Catch you all later. Check out one of your two screws. Seen yet? Peace out, guys.